This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Welcome back to another episode of Explore Mountain States.
That's it for the weather
and
update.
Moving on to our district news update.
Only here
on INCRadio Mountain States.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Welcome to INCRadio Mountain States. I am your host, Brother Levi Monaco, and it is such a blessing to be here in this particular broadcast because we have a live audience and we have guests who will be joining us because we want to highlight a congregation in this area that has been very, very much in the rise, and they're going to display a theme that they have just recently been conducting in themselves. And not only that, it is very, very special to be here because they recently had celebrated a milestone anniversary. So we are so happy that they are joining us in this broadcast. And with a local congregation like this, it takes the leadership, it takes those in the forefront to help guide them to this point where they can celebrate their milestones. And the first leader we can always think about is our first guest, the resident minister of North Las Vegas himself, Brother Ronnie Gonzalez. Thank you so much for joining us, Brother Ronnie.
Hello, Brother Levi. Thank you for having us.
And, the theme that they came up with, which I think is very much in time with everything that is going on, is keeping the faith. So I just really wanted to ask, how did your locale come up with that theme?
Well, Brother Levi, the locale of North Las Vegas is very resilient. They have faced all kinds of trials, different sets of tribulations, not to mention tests of faith, as a local congregation and also individually with different brethren. But what we notice in the locale is no matter what they go through, no matter what the brethren encounter, they have not wavered in their faith and they will remain resilient and they persevere throughout all kinds of hardship just to perform their duty and keep the locale active and participating in the activities. And so one thing that really shows in the brethren is their level of faith and how they've kept it all these years and decades for some of them.
And that is so important because as I've mentioned in the beginning of the broadcast, they've reached 5 years. And a lot of people may not think of it when they compare it to maybe the years that other congregations have had, but there's specific things about the history, like you've mentioned, they've went through so much that really makes it a milestone, even if it's just 5 years. So what are some of the things in the history and the background of the North Las Vegas locale that really makes that 5 years special?
Well, the locale congregation was established in 2019, March 28th. And they were actually Area 5 of the bigger locale, the mother locale, which is the locale congregation of Las Vegas. And since the brethren, most of them were migrating to a part of Las Vegas that was already developing, which is the northern part, because of the water supply at Lake Mead, not to mention the mountains, snow-capped mountains, Mount Charleston. It helps the water supply. And so this was a developing region. So a lot of people started settling near there, especially since the Air Force Base is also near that area. And so as the brethren in Area 5 got together, because of their great number, but the distance of traveling to the chapel, about 20, 25 minutes, sometimes even 30 minutes away, they proposed to establish a new locale as the church continues to grow by leaps and bounds as we know it. And so it was approved, and they started with 140 brethren. Now we are nearing more than 250 brethren in the span of 5 years.
That is incredible. And as you mentioned, it started just as one area, but now it's a locale, and that is incredible. And speaking of the brethren in that area that became a locale, we have our live audience join us. Let's go to them real quick.
Hello, Brother Brother Levi, Brother Ronnie. Hello po. Welcome to INCRadio. I have a co-host for today, which is also a local of North Las Vegas. So let me pass it on to our sister Vanessa Gillo.
To co-host with Mr. Mai. Not for my listeners and myself from North Las Vegas, but please, I would like to introduce my locale congregation of North Las Vegas right behind me. Thank you again, brethren, for tuning in. We're very, very excited, and we do want to express our heartfelt thanks for being here, joining INCRadio today, and discussing the topic for today. Thank you, Atamai. Back to you, Kuya Levi. We'll hear more of that later as we progress in our show.
They sound like a very lively and a very enthusiastic group of brethren, and that is, I think, one of the most important elements of garnering from what you have said, Brother Ronnie, that you started from an area all the way up to a locale in just a span of just a couple of years. And with that, I'm pretty sure that the 5 years is not just the only milestone that North Las Vegas has experienced and gone through, and God had blessed that locale with. So what are some of the other more noticeable favorite milestones that has happened?
Well, Brother Levi, everything that has happened in the locale since the very inception or establishment is considered a milestone. Remember, they began with humble beginnings like every locale congregation. Their first resident minister, Brother Alex Chavez, who's now our district secretary. That's also a milestone in itself, not to mention the ministers who have been assigned in the locale have also been promoted to different positions in the church. And then the brethren as well, in their level of faith, many have taken the call to become church officers. Of course, some were hesitant at first, being a new locale, because of the need. They decided to give and dedicate their life to the church. And so that has helped the locale grow by leaps and bounds as well. Not to mention, we've had so many different activities already in the locale and in the district that we're not surprised when the locale of North Las Vegas has garnered some recognition. Not to toot our own horn, but the locale was pronounced the most fruitful locale of 2021, and then back to back again in 2022. And that is in the works of propagation. Not to mention, just a few minutes ago, we just had our district baptism, where the one that was baptized was one of the fruits of North Las Vegas. Not to mention also in the realm of Christian family organizations. We can see the North Las Vegas locale always participating. They're very competitive also, but friendly competition with unity games. And they also had milestones in terms of reaching first place in the Kadiwan Binhi cooking competition. Not to mention the bowling activity in 2022, and also the unity games, basketball in Kadiwa, where they also garnered first place. But all glory be to God for blessing the locale and also the unity that we see amongst the brethren.
Yes, and on top of that, I mean, one of the blessings that he's given is the 5-year milestone. And with that, there was an anniversary celebration that had happened in conjunction with that, Brother Ronnie?
Yes, Brother Levi. Earlier this year, the locale celebrated its 5th year milestone anniversary on March 24. And we rented a banquet hall wherein the guest of honor were our ministers and district minister. So all the ministers in the Nevada region attended with their respective families. Not to mention, a lot of the brethren brought their relatives and friends who were not members of the church, and they saw the brotherhood and the fellowship. So they were very excited to see the unity in the church firsthand by means of our anniversary celebration.
We just want to cue the pictures real quick so that we can get the visual of this elaborate and very spectacular celebration that happened in conjunction with the 5th anniversary. And again, praise be to God that they were able to reach that. And this was the celebration they held in conjunction with that. And then again, how did you prepare and organize this event? And what are some of the favorite moments from that anniversary?
Well, we began with a brainstorming group wherein we had to form committees. such as entertainment committee, documentation committee, food committee, decorating committee. So all of these committees had to get together to find out what would be the theme. But since it is the 5th year, which is a milestone, we wanted to make it formal. So we encourage everyone to dress to the nines. So you can see the brethren coming in with their, you can see it's like a wedding reception almost, right? You can see the brethren along with church officers and ministers wearing tuxedos, wearing their suits, the sisters wearing evening gowns. Again, it was a formal affair, sort of like almost a black tie event. And we treated everyone with the red carpet. If you notice, there was a red carpet.
Yes.
And so it was something like the Academy Awards, where everyone is getting their photo taken right when they enter. And we had lights, banners, everything that show that this is something that all of us should be proud of.
Yes, and just looking at the pictures, I kind of wish I went there myself, but we're still so very, very happy when we see these pictures and we hear everything that you described about the locale. Even if we weren't there, I think a lot of the viewers feel as if the way they would if they were part of the locale, because they're just so happy to see that the locale has grown and has reached so much milestones. And it's not just the locale and the church activities that people invest their time in. There are other things to do too. So people might plan to come to visit Las Vegas. So what are your worship service times if they do, so they know not to miss it? Maybe they would like to come, meet the brethren, and worship with you.
Well, at the moment, Brother Levi, the locale of North Las Vegas is worshiping at the chapel of Las Vegas locale, which is the mother locale. And we hold our worship services every Tuesdays and Saturdays. On Tuesday is in the evening at 8 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.
Wow. And you know what that means, brothers? For those viewers here, they had just had the worship service earlier, and they still had activities coming on, like you mentioned, the baptism. And now they're here supporting the INCRadio live audience.
Well, some of them are supporting the live audience. The other brethren are waiting their turn to give blood next door at the blood donation drive for our district.
And that, again, just encapsulates everything that you just talked about, how active, how faithful they are. Even though when you draw it out, when you write it out on paper, it looks like a tiring day. But I'm sure that for a lot of the brethren, they have so much energy still. They've been here ever since the morning, ever since the first service, even up until now. We heard them just stir how excited they were. And all of that is just, it's so inspiring. It kind of makes you want to take a look insert and be like, can I be like that too? Because, you know, that's the first question that always comes into a lot of people's minds when they go through a day like that. It's just event, 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 event. And even the way those events are structured, it takes a little bit of your mindset. It becomes a little bit weary just because there's so much mental focus that you have to be vested in. And the brethren seem to have overcome that. So what would be your message to the brethren, knowing that you've reached that milestone and now we're continuing to move forward?
Well, even though the brethren might be physically tired, maybe even exhausted, they are spiritually strong, hence the theme, keeping the faith. Even our children who performed this morning, CWS, are here. And so what we see in them is the future of the church. It's going to be active. It's going to be bright. There's going to be a lot of spiritual fervor because we're transferring this to the next generation. So the message that we have for the brethren in our locale is continue to trust in God. Let's continue to pray. Let's continue to devote our time and our efforts for the sake of the church, because whenever we do, we are never at a loss. God always rewards us. He always gives us peace of mind. Much more importantly, the reward waiting for us on the day of judgment.
Yes, and that's a very important message because, you know, there's just so much things that sometimes can weigh on you when you think about the things that are going on in this world, the other responsibilities that we have. And one of the things that helps them become so devoted is messages like that, but also the messages received by the church administration, who always shows their care and concern. So in that respect, what would be your message now to the church administration?
Well, we would like to first and foremost thank our most beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo B. Manalo, for taking care of all of us. he has a great responsibility in preparing the church, especially for the day of our salvation. And so we are one and united with his aim and spirit. We want to do all that we can to make him happy, because by making him happy, it's able to ease the responsibility that he has of taking care of all of us throughout the world. Not to mention his family, who serve as an inspiration to him, his primary helpers, most especially our overall CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Irano Manalo, who is always helping the church administration.
Yes, a very, very important and very sincere message that we all share, and it's very articulated very well by you, Brother Ronnie Gonzalez. And we love the church administration so much, and we love their leadership. We appreciate them. And now we're going to go to our live audience, where they're so enthusiastically watching and commenting on YouTube. Go ahead, Sister Vanessa.
Hello, brethren. Okay, it's been a little bit quiet over here, but I feel the energy going on, and we want. Hi again. We're excited to be here at the INCRadio Roadshow. Again, thank you so much for being here, helping us to join with the local congregation being here. We do want to go over the live chat, and I have to tell you guys, it was my dream to always read the comments that I'm here, and here I am. I can't scroll back up anymore because there's just way too many comments. But one of the comments did say from Atate, happy 16th birthday, Sister Dad! We're celebrating the birthday over here. We're celebrating our Sister Del's birthday for today. So again, sister, happy birthday, Paul. One comment of greeting our Sister Del, happy birthday, Paul. We do have this moving. Everyone is so excited over here. Obviously we have connected with us West Las Vegas. Hello, Paul, West Las Vegas. What's up, West Las Vegas? There as well. Hi, Kia Levi, definitely our host for today. They wanted to greet them as well. NLV, let's keep that going. NLV rocks. Sister Elisa, hi, Paul. We're switching spots right now, but thank you for letting me join here today. Sister RG, wow, that food looks good, right? Our 5th anniversary was definitely great. Samuel, Benigno, hello, Brother Ronnie, hashtag West Las Vegas. We have Brother, it's a lot, Brother Gerardo Saldua, greetings to all. We do want to introduce to you, brethren, a couple of our brethren pioneers here in the local congregation of North Las Vegas, and one of them is Sister Kathy Domingo. Hi. And one of the question is, would you recall any favorite activities or any favorite milestones, Bob?
Oh, I have a lot of favorite activities, which I attended most of them, and especially attending the EVM or Bible study.
There we go.
I'm happy because I'm a convert for many years now and have been a deacon for 40 years.
Wow.
I like to attend all the Bible studies and missionary works. I try to invite people, but I try my best.
Yes, well, very, very important.
And I enjoy being a member of the Church of Christ.
Thank you. Activities. Do you have any shout outs that you want to reach out to your family?
I don't know if they're listening.
Either way.
Hello, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sister Kathy, and having another one. Colin or Sister Lapa. Afternoon, Sister Lala, for you too. One of your favorite activities or milestones that we have here in North Las Vegas.
Just like Sister Caddy, I have a lot of favorite. My favorite, the most would be the huge milestone we had, the 5th year anniversary. It's huge for us. It's very memorable. Also, the first ever powerlifting.
Yeah.
DJ won first. Ronnie, I didn't know he can carry that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roddy.
Other than that, do you have any shout outs?
Happy birthday, Sister Dad.
Thank you, Sister Kathy, Sister Lot. For our next segment, a feature of dedicated church officers from the North Las Vegas. We had our sister. She's exemplifies what it means to serve God, love the brethren, and help the community. Today, we will hear from our sister Janice Aguinaldo and how she keeps the faith. Here's our segment, MTS Spotlight.
Aguinaldo. I'm a choir leader in North Las Vegas and also TSB officer for district. I'm the district booklet vice president and also the district choir secretary.
MTS Spotlight.
Profession, I'm a nurse practitioner. I do mainly Medicare right now, so I mainly take care of the elderly. Choir has always been part of me. I was actually a CWS choir overseer when I was a teenager at one point. And then kind of when we started moving around, once I started having a family, then I started getting into being choir leader and being helpful in that aspect. The choir grounds me, especially with everything going on in the world. The choir is what kind of keeps me going. Helps me know that I'm able to let it out in some way, even if it's just being able to sing, being able to perform. The choir becomes my family. They become my second children in essence. So I end up loving them as my own children. So everywhere I go, if I'm become the choir leader, they end up being that close to me. And I still talk to a lot of them, even if I've left already. I initially became, when we started Mountain States, I was the district booklet secretary. I still do a lot of that. I'm still technically helping in that aspect because we haven't had a replacement yet, but so I'm still doing a lot of the secretary work, but I'm also actually officially the booklet vice president. As the choir is my ground, I guess, CFO is also what helps me, I guess, keeps me busy, gives me the sanity, gives me what I need to help the brethren also in a different way. In worship service, I'm in the choir loft, and you touch them in a different way by how you're performing, how we're singing. But with CFO, it helps. I get to actually meet the brethren. I get to know them. I get to be who they look at, or hopefully be an inspiration to them too. So it's a different way of looking at it, and I think it helps round myself and my faith. And I think that helped me come out of my shell because I was very quiet, very reserved. I still am, but I think it gives me something to push myself to be a little bit more outgoing. But even during the activities, I've noticed I will actually just watch in the back. So I think just being able to see it come together gives me that joy, because I feel I can see what the brethren, how they are enjoying it, how they're able to benefit from the activities that we put together. Our family kind of being all officers, it's helped a lot. With my kids, I've been pushing them also to leadership things just because I think that's what helped me. I feel like that will help them see how things work, build that confidence that they are able to lead as well. But I think a lot of it is just the ground of our family, helping each other and knowing what needs to be done. My husband is Brother Jerome. He is actually our head deacon in our locale. I think both of us have always been in leadership roles since we've been together. Even when we first met, we were always in some type of leadership role. So I think that's what helped us grow together as well, because we knew that we were that type of people that were always, let's make a difference, let's change, let's make something. So we were always that way. Our oldest, Jaden, he is actually our CWS chairperson. So he was also district in here at one time when he was younger. And I think that part of it, he's my quiet one. He knows that. He's the quiet one. I feel he's me. He's me when I was that age. When he does talk in front of the kids during the CWS, he's you can see the voice. I can see it when I hear him. I'm like, okay, he has it. He just doesn't want to let it out. And then my youngest, he is 18. His name is Kai, or he's Jonathan Kai, but everybody calls him Kai. He actually recently joined the ministry, which this past September. And with that, he's been mentioning it, and I think a lot of us were kind of surprised just because he is still young. He's my outgoing one. He was helping with the District NHE. He was District NHE president. He was helping multimedia. He was multimedia since he was like 13. So he never became officially, because he was always been he until, and then now he left already. So but he's always been the one that I'll do it. I'll take care of it. So he's the more outgoing, more of the one that wants to be in action. And I think that's what helped him want to help more. And everybody would ask, oh, because they know how close I am with my kids. So they're like, oh, were you sad? I'm like, no, because he was happy. So I knew it was something he really wanted. So I know this is what God wants and what he wants. So I realize I have to take care of myself too, to be able to be with them still. I start my morning at 4:30. I will go to kickboxing at 5. And then after that, get ready and go to work from there. And then if it's church after, I'll go straight to church after, go to worship service, have choir practice, do everything I normally do, and then come home. The kickboxing helps because it's a physical thing, and it's because you actually kick and you punch, and it's 45 minutes of you just doing things. You're venting to a bag. It's hard, but it makes you happy because the workout gives you that energy. Even how tired you feel, it gives me the energy, and I'm good for the rest of the day. I'm happy because I'm able to accomplish things. I can feel that God's blessing me to be able to take care of the choir, to take care of any obligation that's been given to me. So I think I just feel like I just put everything, and I just know that even how hard life is, how things I don't understand, I just have to keep reminding myself, just pray that it'll make sense. I think keeping the faith, and I know right now that's what we need with everything that's happening in the world. This is the time that we know that our faith is what's going to keep us going. I think my advice is just to try it. I know it sounds like it's a lot, but once you start doing it, it's rewarding, and you feel like you are being an impact in people's lives and in their faith, and giving them the option to be able to be in that activity instead of being anywhere else. So always take that option, even if you feel like, oh, it's going to take a lot of time. It will in some things, but it's also a good thing. It's a good busy, and it's making your faith stronger, creating those bonds with the other brethren, and being able to have each other's back and be able to take care of each other. We are the ones that are feeling the same things, and so we can help each other that way. And we can see what's happening around us, but what our duties, being active, is what's going to help us to keep going.
MTS Spotlight.
Wow, that is such an inspiring look at one of the dedicated officers here in the local congregation of North Las Vegas. And the blessing that comes from Almighty God is not just blessing the locale that they are able to reach these milestones, like the 5-year milestones. It's the brethren and officers that he allows to be there. And there are so many of them. And with me are 2 guests who are also active officers inside of the local congregation of North Las Vegas. Let's bring our first guest, Sister Shira Carlos. Thank you for joining us, sister. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you too. And we have another officer, our brother DJ Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us, brother DJ. And like I said, these are 2 of the many active officers here in this district, but also in the local congregation of North Las Vegas. So just to give a little insight and context as to the lives of the brethren who are joining us, just introduce yourself and just tell us about your role in your local congregation.
Hello, everybody. So I am Sister Shira Carlos. I am currently the acting Kadila president of North Las Vegas.
Hello, Paul. My name is brother DJ Rodriguez. I am the resident CWS teacher here in the locale of North Las Vegas.
Now, there are a lot of things that happens in your locale, like Brother Ronnie had mentioned in his segment, that there are a lot of things that go on. And we even have some activities of some of the pictures of some of the past activities held in North Las Vegas. So what we would like to do as they're watching the pictures is to kind of give us an insight of how these activities went, what was the atmosphere, and what was it like going through these activities. So if we could just cue the pictures of some of the activities that North Las Vegas has had in the past, they'll go ahead and narrate that for you. It's very exciting to see, you know, all the different activities. And here's the first one. Wow. It looks like they're cooking. That was amazing. That was one of the things that he mentioned. And I think the Binhi took the championship in that one. I believe so. Yeah. And then you can just see like everyone attends, everyone shows, and it doesn't matter where it's at. It doesn't matter what the weather was like. There was even a picture of one at night. I imagine it was a little bit more cooler, maybe even cold. And they're there doing a park cleanup. So even in contributing to acts to the communities, I believe that your locale is very, very active in. What were some of those activities like when you participated in those, Sister Shira?
Participating in those activities.
Yes.
So it's very exciting to just plan it in general, being able to be part of that process and really like getting to the nitty gritty of it all and really seeing it put into play when all the brethren come in and have fun and enjoy these activities.
Yes, and I know for a lot of the activities we've had recently, some of them were the first ever, just like the powerlifting we had. And it just so happens that we have the brother who won that one, the very first powerlifting held in the church. So Brother DJ, you're the first one to participate and win in the very first one. What was that experience like?
Well, I'm just being clear that I won the amateur since I haven't been lifting that long. It was very, and it was very positive. I feel like I hope I inspired others, and I hope there could be more for the rest. And it was just a positive experience overall. I got to meet new brethren. I got to meet brethren that I didn't realize they lived, and it was it was so inspiring to see everything. And I hope more brethren will be more active in activities that are both physical and also emotionally and spiritually strengthening.
You know, as you go through activities like that, as a locale that is still growing to try to reach a certain pinnacle that locales, bigger locales, mother locales have already reached, sometimes that can be a humbling experience. It can be intimidating, but it's also very, very humbling. So with that, I think your locale has taken a lot of that and continue to grow. So explain and just describe your experience of the growth that goes on in your congregation.
And in my opinion, or in my sight, it's been so nice to see more brethren coming into our locale. They have a positive reaction, and to see them enjoying and being active with the other brethren, seeing them active as their duties as well as active in other activities as well.
Yeah, and you know, the speaking of activities, there's an activity actually going on right now while we're having this broadcast, and again, shows the activeness of this locale. We have our sisters there during was mentioned earlier, the blood donation drive. Let's go to them right now, and they'll give us a little insight of how this activity is going. Go ahead, Vanessa. Sister Vanessa, what's it like over there? What's the atmosphere?
Hello, Brother Levi. We're actually out here now with a live activity going on. Now, as you can see behind me, we have the blood donation activity here at the local congregation of Las Vegas. As we know, blood donation are used for treat a variety of medical conditions, right, brethren? One of them is transfusions. It could be cancer. Another one would be like trauma, anemia. There's so many things, and that's why it's so important to donate blood. And here we are, Paul, with a couple of the brethren that are donating right now outside. And actually, we do have one who's actually our president for the CMDPS, our brother Fred. Hi, brother Fred. How are you, Paul?
Very good, boss, sister.
Glad you could join us today, Paul.
Yes, Paul.
With the CMDPS, I think we do have to reiterate what it means again. CMDPS is for Christian Medical, Dental, and Paramedical Society. Since you are the president, Paul, could we kindly let the brethren know again why it's so important to have these blood donation box.
Okay po. So, Christian Medical, Dental, and Paramedical Society, or CMDPS for short po, it has been established by the church administration. It's a society that helps to promote healthy living for our fellow brethren, and also as an instrument of the church administration in the different medical, social activities of the church, especially like for care for humanity, and also like just giving information to our fellow brethren with regards to their own health. Now we have a lot of brethren who have diabetes, high blood pressure, and even mental health like depression or anxiety, especially the post-pandemic and COVID. So this organization, it's not really an organization, it's a society, I should say. Let me correct myself. It's a society that helps to promote all this particular medical aspect of the fellow brethren, basically. And one of those activities, right, is what we are having right now, the blood donation or blood activity that are currently being held here in the local of Las Vegas. But later on, also at the local of Phoenix at around 7, they will also have a blood donation activity po, at the local of Phoenix. So, hello po, our brethren from Phoenix. So, you're next po.
I'm glad to hear, Brother Fred. Not here just in Las Vegas, but in our different places here in our district, especially Phoenix. So, hello, Phoenix over there. We'll see you later. So, thank you so much for helping and continuing to do being part of the blood donation. Not only have our Brother Fred, we would like to introduce one of our ministers, our assistant secretary here at the Mountain States. We do have our brother Roy Montemayor.
Hi,
Hello,
sister.
po,
How are
Mr.
you?
Po.
I'm good, po. How are you? Hello, everybody. How are you, po?
I'm glad that you're joining us today with our blood donation. Why is this important for us, members of the Church of Christ, that we do join in blood donations like this or having it part of the activity?
Well, as members of the Church of Christ, of course, number one, we always follow the will of our Almighty God, the words of God. And actually, one of the commandments of our Almighty God is that we help our fellow men and our fellow brethren. And so by having these activities, we're also helping our fellow men to, with the health. And also, it also helps other people know that we in the Church of Christ are also helping in the community. So we're also doing our best to make sure that people know if they need any help, they can always, rely also on the church to do our part in the community to help our fellow.
That is correct, Brother Roy. Not like you say yourself already. We're reaching out. We're already sharing our faith with the workers that are actually here. We've already shared our faith by giving them Asugos, God's messages. So we're actually going to go in live with our brothers and sisters who are joining with the blood donation. So come join us. Hello, everyone.
Here's some of our donors po.
Okay, we'll pass it on to Brother Levi. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Sister Vanessa. And it does look very, very exciting, like all the activities that were just mentioned. And with a lot of these activities, not only do we have officers that assist in making these things possible, there has to be those in the forefront that help the resident minister. And none helps them more than the head deacons, and they're actually here to join us. So we'll say bye to the officers that have joined us. Sister Shara, thank you so much. Brother DJ, thanks so much for joining us. Continue to stay active and keep the faith, like the theme. And we're going to go ahead and introduce 3 head deacons who assist in this locale. And they really do help bridge that gap between the things that go on out there and the things that happen in church to allow the brethren to keep the faith. Let's introduce our head deacons, Brother Ray Odulio, Brother Ralph Cabeltis or Kadat, and Brother Joel Francisco. Thank you so much for joining us in our broadcast, brothers. And then we've talked a lot about the locale and how it's grown and how these things are just one of the many tools that help keep the brethren's faith strong. But I wanted to ask Brother Ray, as part of the leadership, how do you lead the brethren to be more active and keep the faith?
Well, I'm forever more inspired by my love and respect and admiration to the brethren of North Las Vegas. They are the ones who truly inspire me. And they have done so much in humbleness and obedience in the performance of their duties. You really don't have to do anything but follow what they've been doing all along. And that is with due respect to all of us here It is by the glory and the grace of God that has given us the strength and the perseverance to perform our duty.
There's no secret formula. It's always been there. It's about keeping the faith. And on that note, Kadap, how accurate is keeping the faith as the theme of the locale in this broadcast?
All right, so keeping the faith. So we selected this topic because of the mentioned earlier that just like any other locales, right? We go through some struggles sometimes, some tests of faith, especially in our local congregation. But then after all these things, we still keep the faith. We still keep moving forward. We still keep doing the things that we need to do when it comes to perform our obligations. And so we believe that God gives the strongest battles to His strongest soldiers. So we just keep moving forward, and we're gonna keep the faith on.
And one of the things that's so important about being able to do that is doing it together, being united in that. So I want to ask Brother Joel, how do you keep the unity and activeness despite trying times?
I guess the best answer there is we always do our personal prayers because it's really, really hard without the help from God. That is why we always advise everyone in our groups, in our departments, to always make sure to ask the help from God, because without His help, we're really nothing here. That's why that's what we always tell them.
Yeah, and that is so important, to involve Him in all of the plans, everything that you have in place to try to keep the brethren active. So on that note, what are some of the future plans for the local congregations? Any future activities that you guys can kind of bring forth to light?
We always have plans, especially plans to strengthen the bond of the brethren. Not only our meetings, but we're looking for a chapel of our own so that we can congregate in that part of the world. We also have activities that would entice everybody to invite people to join our church, which is the most important thing right now, because time is of the essence, and the last bastion of hope of mankind for the salvation of the soul is the Church of Christ. And that is where we are focused right now.
And it is so hard to maintain that focus, with everything that's going on, so many distractions. And that's the whole reason why you guys, as we've seen in the pictures in our broadcast, you guys have so many activities, so many of them. So Kadap, I wanted to ask you, because I think in my experience working with you and just the brethren around you, that a lot of times when these things come about, you're always the first one to go through. And everyone makes it sound like it's just a wing and a crack, that it happens. But I know that there are obstacles. What's the most challenging thing about trying to have all those activities to make the brethren strong in the faith, keep them away from the distractions, and how did you overcome them?
All right, so that's for me. All right. So first things first, we focus on the things that we need to do. We do a lot of we think of the efforts that we can push, and so we reach out to the brethren. We make sure we visit them. That's part of it, and then we make sure that we do the things that we need to do when it comes to edifying their faith. So the challenge is sometimes, even though you give your best, but then the result or the brethren some of them still not pushing forward. It happens to like just any other local congregations. But then, like I said earlier, we're still moving forward, even though sometimes things doesn't happen the way we want. But then it's always ending up with what God wants, right? So.
And that is so important, to be able to do what pleases God. So in that aspect, Brother Joel, what would be your message to the brethren so that they can continue to do the things that pleases our Almighty God?
I think the best message is to always make sure to keep the faith, like our topic, right? And whatever worries that we will have in our life, always ask for God's help. I think that's the best advice.
And it is such an important advice. And like we have mentioned before in our broadcast, a lot of the times it's not just about what we're able to do to give glory to God. It's also the ones who help us do that, which is the church administration. So I'll go to Brother Ray with this one because I know he's led in the locale of Las Vegas before the split, and you continue to lead. And it's through the inspiration of the church administration. So what is your message to the church administration?
Well, our message to the administration, first and foremost, is thank you so much. And thank you may not be enough, but our commitment, our resolve to our performance of our duty, we will do this not only today, but for the rest of our life. Thank you.
Yes, and then we also echo that sentiment every chance that we get because we are truly so thankful, and we thank all the head deacons for joining us with this one, but we now pass it on to the live audience, and we'll get to hear more from the brethren who decided to join us. Sister Vanessa.
Hi, Brother Levi. Thank you to our handsome deacons. We are back here in our room again. So much energy. We have one more. I would like to introduce you to one of our very helpful sister who's always there in our activities and is our number one feature here, Sister Joanne.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good time, po.
Yeah, see, that much energy. Woo! Love it. Sister Joanne, for you too, the question would be, what is one of your most favorite milestone or activity here at North Las Vegas Club?
I actually am thinking of two in mind. The first one was when we celebrated our 5th anniversary. There was a lot of people, a lot of brethren joined, and there were lots of prizes. Everyone just had a good time. And of course, our weekly chapel guarding. Get to enjoy and just have fun.
Yes, thank you. Any shout outs, Sister Joanne?
Yes, Paul, special shout out to all my NLV family. Especially the Claude family and to my half better half.
Wow.
Brother Joel.
Yes, he was the deacon.
Yes, Sister Del.
Yeah.
Sister Del's present. And Sister Jovi. And the adjutant.
Thank you so much. We are actually heading to the saddest part of our road show of our INCRadio, and we're closing up now. I know everyone's sad now, but let's give it a one more round of applause for you. Again, brethren, for joining us. I've been interviewing a lot, but I would like to interview myself. Obviously, I am very excited and thankful to be actually part of North Las Vegas. Me and my husband, my family came to us. We came from Hawaii, po, and we're so grateful and blessed that our Almighty God blessed us with this wonderful locale here at North Las Vegas. So thank you so much. Again, locale of North Las Vegas! What is your favorite activity, or ever since we moved here, what was your favorite part, or the activities or milestone that we've encountered?
I think for our family, one thing that does come to mind is the cinema movie on this. Well, for better or for worse, it's still on YouTube if you want to look it up. But
Yeah.
that was the most memorable.
Yes, yes, we love that. We do have our shout out to our family in Hawaii. We miss you all. To my in-laws, my family in Germany, and my brother in Canada. We miss you all. We're gonna see you soon. So we're excited about that. Again, thank you, North Las Vegas. So wrapping it up here in the live audience. Back to Brother Levi.
Thank you so much for that, Sister Vanessa, and everyone looks so lively over there. And again, it is in keeping definitely with your theme of keeping the faith, because a part of that is the enthusiasm you need to have to keep it. And as we have seen in the broadcast through some insights with the answers that all of our guests has provided, it is just bountiful in this locale, and it's such a blessing to have every single one of them, from the resident ministers to the head deacons, the leadership, to the officers and the brethren. It is always a blessing to know brethren like that in this district. So we would like to thank everyone for tuning into this broadcast. Unfortunately, we're almost out of time. And thank you so much for all you viewers who participated in the live chat. And we want to say a special thank you to Brother Eduardo B. Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo, our CEO, President of SEBC and CFO Coordinator, Brother Marlon Balason, our District Minister, Brother Oliver Conlas, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Jay Augustin, our CFO Overseer, and to the locale of North Las Vegas, all the avid listeners of INC Radio, and to our Kuya Techs on board. That is all the time that we have. Thank you for watching and listening to INC Radio Mountain States. Join us again next week, same time, same channel, November 30th, Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, Sunday 7 a.m. Philippine Time. Continue to tune into INC Radio, DZEM 954, changing lives through God's words. Up next, INC Radio Canada.
Ako po to INC Radio.